Hello, hello. How are you all? I don't know about you, but it's been a great week. It is something, I know there's a lot of people that are really looking forward to the holiday. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that that was live. Hi, I hope everyone is doing well. It is Wednesday. It's hard to believe that it's December 13th already. And I know that there are a lot of students that are very anxiously waiting to hear from some of their early admissions schools. And that is an exciting thing. That's something I actually am going to talk about on a different day, though, a little bit about that waiting period and what to do. There is actually also going to be a podcast about that. One of the things that I want to talk about today, though, is for some of our younger students who might still be searching for colleges, or even some of our seniors who are potentially going to look for other additional schools to apply to because maybe you've gotten a decision from your early application or early decision, or maybe you say, you know what, I just want to make sure that I have applied to one more school. So, what I want to share about is the Common Data Set. This is such a helpful tool for you as you are searching for colleges. So, one of the things that can happen with the Common Data Set is that you are able to, for the majority of colleges and universities for four-year schools, you are going to be able to type in the name of the school, say, and just because of where I live, so I'm in South Carolina, so the University of South Carolina Common Data Set. And what that's going to do, that is going to bring up a lot of different information. It can end up that sometimes it'll feel a little bit overwhelming. That's not what we want. That's not the intent. It's not about it feeling overwhelming. It's about you getting more information. And there are multiple categories of information for you to search through. As you look at the Common Data Set, it's going to give you information about the school. It's going to give you information about just the faculty in general. You can look at different student ratios. You can look at information about where the school is. And then you can really drill down into things like the potential majors at the school, some of the most popular majors. You can learn about other information like a student's the enrollment. What is the typical size of enrollment for that particular college? And looking at not only the enrollment, but what is the demographic makeup of that student body? And you can look at things like four-year graduation rates, retention rates, as far as students actually staying enrolled in that college versus transferring somewhere else. One of the things, and it is in part C of the Common Data Set, but one of the things that's going to be the most helpful is looking at the most recent year's freshman application pool and who was admitted. So finding out information about what did their four-year GPA look like and how did those students do? So what was the average incoming GPA of those students? What was the average ACT or SAT score so that you can see where does your students, or if you are the student watching, where does your GPA and where does your SAT or ACT score stack up in those who were admitted most recently? There also is information, like I said, about different majors, about programs and activities that are available on campus. There's going to be information about cost. There also is going to be information about how much aid students are typically receiving, whether that be scholarships, loans, any kind of financial aid information that you might need. So, how is that something that actually would be helpful for you? Well, if you are looking at potential majors and you know that you want to be in a mid-sized college, you can look at defining that for yourself. What kind of college do you want to be in? And then from there, what is it that each college that you're looking at does that college meet or fit within your criteria? Or is it something that, you know what, that just really seems a little bit too big for me, or that seems really too small, and I'd love to have the opportunity to get to know other people. When you look at that faculty to student ratio, that can also give more information. And it's not just about what is that instructor. Some people are much more interested in having an actual professor teaching the class rather than a grad assistant or a TA or an adjunct faculty. And so if that's something that's important to you, you need to be aware of the college's faculty and staff makeup and who might be teaching some of those classes. So when you look at potential colleges, when you look at what colleges might be a fit for you, you want to make sure that you have that potential major, that the major that you might be interested in. And we talked the other day, my most recent podcast episode that just came out talked about looking at careers and being able to figure out from there what major might be a good fit for you. But knowing what majors are going to be on that campus is going to help to figure out, is that something that you should look, is that college something that you should look at having on your list? So you want to really look at that common data set as far as figuring out what is it that you are looking for as a student, what are you hoping to be able to use and to really evaluate what are the criteria that are the most important for you. And that common data set can really help make sure that you have exactly what you need. So when you go look at common data set, let's just break down the GPA and those test score components. So again, we talked about University of South Carolina. So you know that as a student, here's what your GPA is and here's what your average score is. And when you go look at the common data set for the University of South Carolina, you want to compare what your information was and where your student is based on that average incoming profile. That can help you make some decisions to figure out, okay, is this college a likely school, one where we're pretty sure that your student is going to be accepted to that college? Is it something that's kind of that match where, yeah, about 50%, your student kind of falls in that middle 50% of the students who were accepted? Or is it a stretch school? And so if it is a stretch school, then you're not quite sure if your student is going to meet that criteria, that they're maybe not completely there, but we really want to go ahead and try and make sure that we want to stretch and see, is that something that I could end up being accepted at? And so you want to have a healthy balance of those likely, match, and stretch schools. Another term for that you might have heard before could be the reach, match, and safety schools. And so that is something where that common data set can really help you to evaluate what is needed. It also can help some of the younger students as far as looking at, where can I go from here, knowing that this is what the common data set says for this school that I'm interested in. And as I finish out my sophomore year, as I am finishing out my junior year, what do I want to make sure that I'm doing with my grades and the work that I'm completing? So those are some of the things that would be incredibly helpful if you have a senior who is looking for another college and you have done some research. Maybe you've looked up colleges on some of the websites like College Board's Big Future or niche.com, or there's so many others, and you figure out, okay, these are some of the criteria that I want. You can go back to that common data set and evaluate, where do I fall in line, or where does my student fall in line with those criteria? So if that is something that you would be interested in diving into a little bit more and just having a deeper dive to talk through where your student falls and what we would need to look at for them with that common data set, I would love to spend some time talking with you. You are welcome to contact me for a free 15-minute coaching session consultation about what the college search process looks like for you. You actually are able to book a call online if you go to confusetoready.com/C2CR free coaching. And I would love to connect with you. I would love to hear more about your search and journey and be a support. I hope that you all have a fantastic evening. And until next time, I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.